It's Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I'm your host, Kevin Keatsman, in with you until the Vince Show comes your way at 11 o'clock. We got some really great topics on the show today, including I've just had this moment of clarity over the last, listening to the caller of the day a little while ago and over the last hour or so, that occasionally it occurs to me that I'm a little different. No real shocker there, but I just have different takes and opinions on things maybe than most or mainstream. Now, I don't know. I guess that somehow has served me well in radio. I don't know, but I've got a completely different take on Trump's executive order and the flag burning because I think it's awesome. And I think I know what he's doing. I'm going to take a shot at it. I could be wrong, but we'll get to that in a moment. I'm also giddy today because I think the Chiefs have basically just announced they're building a brand new stadium. They just don't want to tell us that yet. They're waiting on the Royals. They're doing all these things. But let me tell you what can't wait. The season begins, and a deadline for a sponsorship has to be hit. And the Chiefs want all new backdrops for their news conferences, all new patches on their uniforms, and all the money they can possibly get from Burns and McDonnell in Kansas City, the official engineering and construction company of the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't make this up. They've announced the contractor before they've told us where they're building and what they're doing. It's amazing. And one of the most Chiefs things ever. We'll get to that in just a few moments. Ryder Cup golf, politics are coming into play again. As Phil Mickelson is somewhat controversial, we'll have that for you on the show today. Mark Alford had a town hall yesterday that was on C-SPAN, and apparently everybody in D.C. saw this thing, and he's getting pretty good reviews for handling mostly Democrat questions. At that, we'll talk about Mark Alford, and of course, Mark Van Sickle with us today. We got a lot of things to talk with him about, including that doppelganger that was at Arrowhead the other day, the Taylor Swift doppelganger making some news. We'll get to all that. Okay, so I'm going to start with the flag burning, and we know that the Supreme Court in 1989 let us all know that you have the right to burn the flag. That is, it is an expression of free speech. But here's what Trump knows that I don't know why people don't get what he's doing. Let me just start with the simplest concept of all. I can't burn leaves in my backyard. That's it. I own the property. The leaves are mine. I could build the best, safest fire pit ever and have a fire extinguisher. I have to go get a permit if I want to do this. I can't burn leaves in my own backyard. And I've got a big backyard. It's not dangerous. Not a problem for my neighbors. I could make that decision, but the city of Lenexa does not allow me to make that decision for myself because they're protecting all of us, the greater good, against the idiots who would burn unsafely and maybe burn your house down. It could be your neighbor. I darn sure know that you can't go into the streets of Los Angeles at an anti-ICE protest and set something on fire in the street. That's against the law. I don't care what you set on fire. That's against the law. What's going to happen here is everywhere the flag burning is taking place, they're breaking laws. If I burned it in my backyard, if I burned the flag today in my backyard and posted it on social media, I'm caught. I don't think they're going to come get me, but they could. I cannot burn a flag in my backyard. It is against the law. What Trump is saying by executive order is we're going to have Pam Bondi go work with cities, counties, and states. And where laws are broken, we're talking about burn laws here, folks. This isn't about the flag. This is about Trump being Trump, saying we're America and we will target the people we want burning the flag. If you're an exchange student from the Middle East and you hate Jews, just despise Jews, and you're at Columbia University in New York City and you decide you're going to burn an American flag on the sidewalk, you're going to jail for a year, no questions asked. You've broken a law in New York. It now is a federal crime by executive order, and you're gone. I would venture to say, if you stood out there at one of these protests and burned a cardboard box or something, you'd probably be okay. Trump is making a point about being an American. This isn't even an 80-20 issue. This is a 99-1 issue. The freaks that burn American flags largely are either mentally disturbed or they're not of us. They're not with us. They're not American citizens. They're from other places. If you're an illegal alien or if you're a student here on a visa and you burn the American flag, you can't do that. Yes, you have the right to free speech to burn a flag. If you want to go to the fire department and get a burn permit and say, we're gonna have this big event at, Swope Park, and Kansas City, Missouri allows you to do it, and you're going to get all your Antifa freaks, and you're going to line up out there, and you've built this big pit, and the fire department said, yep, but here, I used to put on a fireworks show, my old radio station. It got too costly because we had to get insurance. We had to hire the fire department to come sit there with their trucks and watch the show just in case something happened. But if you want to go to that much trouble at Loose Park and set up your big Antifa event, and everybody bring a flag and throw it in the pit and burn it, and you've done it all lawfully, he's not going to get you. He can't get you. You know he can't get you, but the people on the left don't know that. They're not thinking deeply enough about what it is that he's doing. This is the ultimate troll. And believe you me, there will be people arrested and go to jail for a year. It's most likely going to be, I'm just profiling and telling you the truth. It's most likely going to be some protester from the Middle East that hates Jews. That's probably what it's going to be. And they're going to catch him in the act, and they're going to grab him for burning a flag on the streets of New York or L.A. or wherever it is that they are. They're going to haul him off because now there's an executive order, and Pam Bondi's going to swoop in and say, whoop, Kansas City, Missouri, you can't burn that thing down there on the Country Club Plaza. The cops detained him, and trust me, every local cop is going to understand if they catch some freakazoid burning an American flag that it's got Pam Bondi written all over him, and they're going to cuff him for an ordinance of you can't burn stuff in the streets. What are we even thinking? We sit there and let people stand around in a circle and stomp on the thing while it's burning? Who set it on fire? That is against the law. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's the American flag. It could be anything. It is against the law to burn those things in the street. And there is no city anywhere that allows you a space to have a protest and say, hey, we're going to have a demonstration, and you can fill that paperwork out. There's no place anywhere that says part of your demonstration is burning things, okay? So when we saw that George Floyd stuff way back in the day, and the CNN reporter was on saying mostly peaceful protest, while cop cars and the police department were on fire in the background, that's illegal, folks. You can't set things on fire. You can't burn anything. Here's one you didn't know. You can yell fire in a crowded theater. If something really bad happens when you do that, if people get trampled and you're the person that caused that, now you can be arrested for doing it. And you can be in real trouble and liable for somebody else's harm that was done to them because of your act. These things are very clear cut. You absolutely have the right to burn the American flag, but only with proper permitting. Again, I don't think hardly anybody listening right now, it's even legal for you to burn it on your own property. Some people live in rural areas where they don't have burn laws. You're out in spaces and you can burn whatever you want. That's different. Most people that live in the city, you can't burn stuff on you can't just go out in your backyard and set stuff on fire. People do. They do. I shoot off fireworks. That's against the law. That's against the law where I live. I'm not supposed to shoot fireworks. They kind of turn the other cheek when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl and you're blasting things up in the sky. All right, good enough. We appreciate the fact that they do that that's not the biggest crime happening where we live. That's awesome. But this is Trump's game, man. This one's right in his wheelhouse. And if you don't think he's thought this through, I'm going to go find people burning the flag and I'm going to arrest them. And nobody's going to cite the Supreme Court in 1989 to me that this is unconstitutional. Because what you did was you broke a law. And as president of the United States through executive order, I'm going to say if when you're breaking the law, burning the American flag, I get to do what I want, and you're going away for a year. This is just fantastic. It's perfect. You think illegal aliens are going to set these things on fire? I wouldn't do it. Yeah, nope. They're going to pick you up instantly. Unlawful protest, fertile ground. Stop doing it. And the American public sees this and says, thank you. We all can stand by the Constitution and the Supreme Court and the right to free speech and expression and to organize and all these other things. We all get that. We're all on board with that. But none of us like the flag being burned. So Trump's found a way to haul people in. You broke an ordinance. I'm taking you in and I'm putting you away for a year. Don't even think about burning the flag. I absolutely love it. 913-408-7957. That's 913-408-7957. If you'd like to join us on Uncanceled, the phone lines are wide open. Come on in. When we come back, we'll take your calls. And why it's the most Chiefs thing ever that they're wearing a Burns and McDonald patch on their practice uniforms. That's next on KCMO Talk Radio. All right, we'll get to the phones in just a moment. If you'd like to join us here on the broadcast, give me a shout at 913-408-7957. Before we get to the phones, I would just like to acknowledge the most Chiefs thing ever, and that is the fact that they have named the engineer and construction company for their new stadium before they've announced a new stadium. And here's why they did it. Money. That's it. Money, 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 money. That's all this is, folks. The season is starting next week, if you didn't know. That means all sponsorships have to be in place. The Chiefs and Royals told us by midsummer they'd have their decisions for us and let us know where they're going. That hasn't happened. And then they ran into a deadline, the Chiefs did, for their new season to start. When you line up all your new sponsors that pay you millions of dollars for things like patches on practice jerseys, microphone flags, backdrops for news conferences, signs in the tunnel and in the stadium when the team comes out, and all those things. And guess who the big new sponsor is for the Kansas City Chiefs? Burns and McDonnell. Now, we here at Uncanceled love Burns and McDonnell. I think they should have gotten the airport contract and all the other things in Kansas City. I think they're a great local company. I have known some of the I guess we would call them bigwigs there. I don't know them well, but I've had them on the show and been at different events and been around them. They are absolutely committed to Kansas City. We're giant fans of Burns and McDonnell. We understand what it is that they're doing, and we congratulate them on getting the contract to build the Chiefs' new stadium at the Legends. Way to go. It's going to be a big project. It's going to be a massive project. It's awesome. But the Chiefs literally had to announce their stadium partner before they announced their stadium project because the season's starting and the money flows. And we got to get this contract signed, and we need to announce it because, the Chargers next week. It's so fantastic and capitalistic, and this is just Trump-like. I mean, this is next-level stuff by Clark Hunt, Mark Donovan, and those boys. It's next-level business. It really is. It's like we don't care if the public knows what we're doing. We're not going to worry about an announcement. They have wanted from day one for the Royals to announce what they're doing first. That's all the Chiefs have wanted. And they're smart in doing that because if the Royals decide to go to Kansas, now the Chiefs don't look so bad when they decide to go. Let's be honest. We know what the Chiefs are doing. The Chiefs were always going to win this. They did not anticipate that their engineering and construction partner, the official contractor of the Chiefs, would be announced before they told anybody what they're doing. It's perhaps the most Chiefs thing ever, and I love it. All right, to the phones we go. We got Carl up first today on Uncanceled. Good morning, Carl. How are you today? Oh, I'm sorry. We've got Scott up first today. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
I'm well, Kevin. Thank you much.
Bet. What's on your mind?
I haven't heard you touch on this, and perhaps you have, but I have on very, very solid information. It's an aunt who works at the voting and election boards for Jackson County, something to that effect. I don't know the exact name of her position, but she has on information and solid information the Chiefs have a standalone vote coming up the second Tuesday in November.
Okay. In what jurisdiction?
In Jackson County.
Jackson County. Well, I think if that had happened, it would have been filed by now. Do we know of the filing for the actual election? That would be public record.
And I want to ask her more questions, but
if I'm not mistaken, today's the deadline.
Okay.
I remember hearing that August 26th. I remember hearing August 26th is the deadline to get on the ballot in November, but that might have been Clay County. So maybe it's different in Jackson County. But if it's perhaps done, it would have been filed. Wouldn't that be reported and there'd be an announcement if it's been filed?
That's why I'm pretty sure that none of this would be illegal for me to know or to say out loud. But she was fully confident. I mean, she was telling me the truth. And that she said she would be able to get advanced verbiage on it and then be able to disclose that to me. Yeah.
I'd love it. As soon as you get it, call me back, okay?
Roger that. Thanks for
okay. Thank you.
My call.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. And, hey, listen, I've lost track of the number of times through the years that somebody's called and said, hey, my sister, my relative, my friend, my whatever does this, and it's coming, and then it happens. I never discount when people say, hey, I know somebody that said this. I never discount that because people in the know first, and people in the know have loose lips. It happens all the time. And, I mean, there's no ultimate reason for the Chiefs to make their decision before November. They might as well, if they want, to put something else on the ballot in November and see what that is for Missouri. But, if it is, it seems to me that it would be a new stadium in Missouri, not a renovated Arrowhead. I can't see the Chiefs go in that direction. I just can't. All right, next up is Shonda in Olathe. Good morning, Shonda. You're on Uncanceled. How are you?
Hey, doing well, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
Hey, listen, I know this won't be popular and it may hair lip Governor Kelly, but I am fine with Burns and McDonnell sponsoring this new stadium because I don't want my Kansas tax dollars doing it. And it's not very capitalistic when they want my money. And,
right.
We've got 5,800 foster kids they can't find homes for, but she wants to pour money into this. So I say more power to Burns McDonnell. We love them. They do great work, and let them subsidize it because I'm tired of my insurance companies and my taxes subsidizing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shonda. But to be clear, it is you will not have a tax dollar in it unless you go to a game.
So the money that she's wanting to put up, it hasn't been my tax dollars over the last 25 years.
No, that was KU Stadium. She took your money and built KU a stadium, but not the Chiefs.
Gotcha. Well, I apologize for my error.
That's okay. The state of Kansas has poured They've poured $85 million worth of unvoted money into KU's football stadium. But at this point, the plan for the Chiefs is nothing from Kansas taxpayers. It is new sales tax revenue that will pay for the stadium. So if you go there or go to a restaurant there or something near there and buy dinner, you're going to pay a sales tax if you go out to eat or buy a ticket. If you do that, your sales tax dollars will go toward the stadium instead of going to Topeka. But again, sales taxes are choices we make. You can go a long time without paying a sales tax. I know a lot of people can go months without buying anything. Because in Kansas, there's no tax on groceries anymore. They took that part away, right? So you know how long you can go without buying something on Amazon if you really want to? Or wherever, any store or any restaurant, when times get tight, you don't pay the sales tax. And that's kind of what this is. This is one of those setups in both states, by the way. Missouri's is the same thing, 50% sales tax revenue. Missouri's already the big loser because no matter what, they are losing the sales tax revenue that they already have. Kansas doesn't have it. It's new revenue, which makes it much easier for Kansas to say, hey, we're going to go do this. It's going to be new sales tax revenue, and after the stadium's paid off, that's new revenue that goes to Topeka that we didn't have before. Plus, it's an NFL team or a Major League Baseball team. And there really are no states the size of Kansas. It would be unprecedented for a state the size of Kansas to have an NFL and a Major League Baseball team. That does not happen. But Kansas is tiny. It's less than half the population of Missouri. So in comparison, it's all tiny. So, yeah, listen, this is about money for the Chiefs. Burns and McDonnell is going to be their partner no matter what they do. If they renovate Arrowhead, build a new stadium, whatever they do, clearly it's going to be Burns and McDonnell. And clearly this is lucrative for the Chiefs. It's some sort of a kickback. Because of course it is. It's another way for the Chiefs to get an even sweeter deal no matter what they do. It's what the Chiefs will do. Will that be tax dollars essentially coming back to the Chiefs? Yes. If they get a big discount from Burns and McDonnell for putting a patch on their sleeve, yeah, that's just free money for the Chiefs, and the stadium will actually cost less to build, which means less money out of their pocket. This is what teams do. The Chiefs are better than anyone at these things. 913-408-7957 if you'd like to join us. When we come back, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports kicked out of a stadium next. All right, thanks to the caller that called in a little bit ago. John Anthony, our sleuth, our resident news director and sleuth, has uncovered it. It is on the Jackson County elections calendar, November 4th, 2025, special election. It doesn't say what it is. Style of election is special election on November 4th. It says final certification day, which means when it was certified that it's going to happen, August 26, 2025. So this has happened. It is on the website, and it's final and posted, although nobody's publicly said anything. You're hearing this for the first time. This is on the Jackson County Elections Board website. that there will be a special election on November 4th, and it was certified today. I do believe today was the deadline for all these November ballots, maybe Clay County as well. So we'll wait and see if something's on the ballot in Clay County for a possible Royals ballpark. We'll see. But Jackson County has it on their schedule for a special election on November 4th. And the caller said that he has great information from people that he knows, his relatives, that this is about a Chiefs-only vote. I can't confirm that. We're not confirming that. What I can confirm for you is there is a special election November 4th in Jackson County, and it does not say anything about what it's about. So we'll try to get people speaking publicly about this and get them on the record. Maybe the Chiefs will release a statement. If they do, the timing obviously couldn't be better. It's going to be in season. They'll have the ability to advertise this thing to the masses all over the broadcasts. The games get 50 shares, and it's ridiculous how many people watch Chiefs games. So they'll have no trouble getting their story out there if they want to get this one passed. And we'll see what it is that they're trying to pass. They're not going to just be able to stay with what they're doing right now and say, we want you to go vote yes to give us money, and we'll let you know what it's for after that. So we know the last one was rinky-dink. The Chiefs wanted the last one to fail. If they're on board with this, which we haven't heard the Chiefs say, and I think this is really odd, we've not heard people talking about this. If this is Jackson County and the Chiefs, why would this be so quiet? How does it get filed? How does it become official and nobody's talking about it? Is it something that somebody in Jackson County has put on the ballot but the Chiefs haven't embraced yet? Why is this thing silent when today's the deadline? And nobody knows this. This is really unusual. I can't tell you I have any real feel or idea, but thank you, John Anthony. Awesome work for finding this on the Jackson County Board of Elections page. If you want to go see it yourself, you just go to the calendar. And their calendar lists everything right there. It lists the recall coming up on September 30th, and right after that it says November 4th, special election, certification date, August 26, 2025. That's today. So it was just certified in the last couple hours, and it is now posted on the site. We, according to the caller, would believe maybe that's for the Chiefs. I don't think it's for the Royals at this point. They already lost in Jackson County, and I haven't heard the Chiefs say they're on board with this yet, so we really don't know. You wouldn't think somebody would do this, but there is a hard deadline of today, and if the Chiefs didn't want to do it, that doesn't mean they couldn't cancel the election. Maybe the Chiefs announced different plans and then it's canceled, anything. But it had to be done by today to be on the ballot in November. So there's some stadium progress for you. Way to go, John. That was awesome. Great, great work. Just absolutely perfect. So we'll wait to see what it is. I'm pretty sure right now, you've seen these little memes on Twitter and wherever, where they show the gerbil on the wheel just spinning and running and running. That's Pete Mundo right now. Pete's phone's on fire calling everybody he knows. What is this? What is it? Like, I don't know what Mundo had planned this hour, if he had a luncheon, if he had a business meeting, if he had something. No, he's on his phone. Mundo's calling everybody because he knows everybody. This is some radio station, folks. This is pretty cool stuff. All right, so we're going to have a vote November 4th. We have no reason to believe that a special election November 4th would be anything other than a stadium initiative in Jackson County. This is just wild, man. In the middle of a recall effort for the Jackson County executive, Jackson County is going to put something on the ballot, we think, for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs haven't commented about it yet. Like, do they even want it? Is there going to be a press release today? What do we got? Is this going to go cricket silence and nobody's talking about it because they don't really know where it's headed? Look, if I were a Jackson County commissioner or any type of a player in Jackson County, I would have filed this and gotten this done, whatever it took. I don't know the process, how it all works, but whatever it takes to get this on the ballot, I would have done that today. I would have gotten that done whether the Chiefs want it or not. You should be doing it. So that's what I don't think anybody really knows yet. And if this is for a renovation, and are the Chiefs just going to keep delaying? I mean, why wouldn't we? Let's turn Kansas City. Let's make Kansas City Tampa, where they've been talking about a stadium for their baseball team for over 20 years. They've had 5 or 6 votes and plans that have failed and things that have happened. And then a hurricane hit their stadium and they don't have a roof. And now they're playing in the Yankees minor league park because they just couldn't get it done and they couldn't get it right. So here we go. We do know this. The Chiefs have a builder. They got an engineer and a construction company. Burns and McDonald's going to be building for the Chiefs. It's going to be their cranes, baby. They're going to have them right out there. They're going to partner up with some great local contractors and the heavies. They're all getting in on this, man. This is going to be one of the biggest things ever. Building 2 stadiums or renovating one and building one all at the same time, that industry in Kansas City is going to be boom town. We could literally have something like $8 billion worth of stadium projects going at one time. That's maybe more compared to what some of the other, most NFL teams now are going $5 billion or more by themselves. Crazy times in Kansas City. Thank you, John. Great work there. All right, a couple other things that I teased earlier in the show. This isn't really about golf. This is about politics and Trump, so stay with me here. There's an event coming up in a few weeks called the Ryder Cup. It's 12 American golfers against 12 European golfers. It's been going on forever. And if you're a golf fan, it's one of the coolest things of all. It's partners. Like if I was one of the 12 golfers on America's team, I might be partnered with Scotty Scheffler as my partner, and the two of us play against 2 Europeans in match play. It's really cool. It's happening on Long Island this year. Bethpage Black. Everybody that goes, they don't dress like normal golf fans. They're crazy people wearing red, white, and blue. It's one of the most patriotic things you'll ever see, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You may recall a few years ago, a golfer named Phil Mickelson, who was the second best or most famous golfer of the Tiger Woods era, left the PGA Tour and went to something called Live Golf and took $250 million just to go play on this other tour. But he had to leave the PGA Tour. So the PGA Tour was very upset with this. Phil took the money, and everybody came after Phil and attacked him because he was taking money from the Saudis. And the Saudis are bad people. And you can't take money from Saudis. We can't do this. I noted at the time, it's the first country Trump visited when he was president 45. He went to Saudi Arabia. As president 47, it was also the first country he visited. He went to the Middle East. It's where the money is. So that's where he goes. And yes, they're an ally of ours, and they do horrible things. They've got a lot of things that they're trying to change in Saudi Arabia. They want to be better known around the world for human rights, women's rights, different things. They're trying. That doesn't mean they're going to get better overnight. They're still stuck in an awful lot of things that are really bizarre to Americans, but it's who they are. So Phil, by most American golf fans, was turned into this canceled ogre of a greedy dude that was taking dirty money from a bad country. Then all the other golfers followed. Bryson DeChambeau is in Live Golf, and he's Captain America now. He won the U.S. Open. He's red, white, and blue, and everybody loves him. There is no controversy of being on Live anymore. If you like the PGA Tour better, that's fine. How does that pertain to the Ryder Cup and Donald Trump? Okay, Keegan Bradley is the captain of the Ryder Cup team. He played so well that he can actually pick himself to play in this thing. That's very rare. It hasn't happened since Arnold Palmer. Nobody thought Keegan Bradley would be playing well enough to be on the team, but he is. And since he is and he wants to pick himself, there's a report that says he's considering hiring his buddy, Phil Mickelson, they're very close, to be the co-captain and run things while Keegan Bradley is playing. And the PGA Tour is livid. There is a report that they are threatening Keegan Bradley, who's on the PGA Tour, with some sort of a banishment to, some sort of CCOT prison. They're threatening to kick him off the PGA Tour if he brings Phil Mickelson in. This sport's got to get over this stuff. You lied to us. The PGA Tour lied to us in the beginning. They made it about Saudi Arabia. They made Phil Mickelson a beloved American great athlete into some huge anti-American dude for taking Saudi money of something that was fake and false, that even Trump said such. This Ryder Cup mess right now may need Trump's touch in some way. And I'm going to guess he sides with Phil Mickelson and tells the PGA Tour to stand down a little bit. It's crazy. It's not about politics. It's not about politics with Dave Portnoy either. He's the founder and CEO of Barstool Sports. You know the guy. I am not a fan of Portnoy. I think he's relatively conservative, so I'd be okay. I just think he's an obnoxious, abrasive ass, and that says something coming from me. I mean, seriously. He is a complete and utter homer with all sports. He hates the Chiefs, loves the Patriots, hates Ohio State, loves Michigan. He picks sides, he does all these things, and he's outrageous with the way he does things. He's been very successful. I'm saying nothing about his business acumen or what he's tapped into with the younger generation of fans. It's clearly no longer the way I've done things. It's next gen, and everybody that's in sports now is a complete fanboy and homer. And there's no bigger fanboy than Dave Portnoy and the Michigan Wolverines. So he does all these really nasty anti-Ohio State things and has for years. That's their rival. Fox Sports just hired Portnoy to sit on their stadium show before the games. Okay? You know what I'm talking about, like College Game Day? Fox Sports has one of those for their big noon kickoff. Portnoy is going to be on there to be their blowhard, the guy that comes on and just really lets it fly. Ohio State has announced this week that they're not letting him in the stadium, that they'll allow Portnoy to be out there on the set, I guess, when it's outside on the campus or something, but they're not allowing him in the stadium. They will not give him a credential. The show transitions at the end and comes inside the stadium. They're not allowing Portnoy in. They've just done the biggest favor to Fox Sports and Dave Portnoy you could possibly do. This is petty on the part of Ohio State. I understand it. It would have been a crap show. It actually might have been a dangerous situation. Ohio State fans might have thrown things at him. It could have gotten really ugly. This is not the NFL. This is fandom on steroids. This is soccer hooligan stuff, folks. Michigan, Ohio State is next level. It's Antifa versus the Jew haters, or what? Or they're all the same, maybe? I don't know who they all are. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it could have been real trouble. They may be doing something legitimately for safety concerns, but they have handed on a silver platter all kinds of fodder to Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, and Fox, which are clearly going to get bigger ratings for their show now because Portnoy is going to be on there just blasting Ohio State for not letting him go into the stadium. What we do in sports. I'm telling you, sports people, I think, are crazier and more passionate than politics. I think it's true. I think politics is dirtier behind the scenes. I think the politicians are far dirtier than people in sports. Oh, there's a lot of dirt in sports, too. I think the politicians are dirtier than sports people, but the actual angst and the hatred and what the worst of us, that's in sports, and we're seeing it right there with Barstool Sports founder and CEO Dave Portnoy.